So catheter induction. So essentially a very thin and skinny catheter essentially gets pushed through the cervix. So if we just pretend that my hand is my cervix for a second, it goes in up towards the uterus where your baby will be sat on top of your cervix, and then it's inflated and it almost creates like a water-filled small balloon on top of the cervix. The catheter is then either taped to your leg or kept within your underwear, whichever one you would prefer. And you go and you move around and you walk around, and the gravity will eventually bring this slightly inflated balloon down through your cervix, which will have opened it up enough to be able to break your waters. And that's the aim of a catheter induction, is that actually it softens and opens your cervix enough that we can break your waters for the next stage of the induction. Catheter inductions are still being studied and trialled at the moment in this country. The recommendation is that a catheter induction is used if you've had a previous caesarean birth. And that's because the first stages of an induction with propess and pessaries can increase the chance of a uterine rupture, which is why a catheter induction is often recommended if you've got a scar on the uterus. It's also the third line of induction as well. So if you were to have a propess or pessary and the cervix wasn't open enough to break your waters, then a catheter induction is often recommended then. The risks and the benefits, so it's slightly more natural, so it tries to mimic more that pressure on the cervix in opening the cervix, so there tends to be less side effects that are more common with a propess or a pessary. Or the gel or the tablet to be able to open up the cervix. It's a little bit more hands-off and a bit more natural in terms of you're more upright, you're more mobile, you're a bit more gravity-based. As for the risks, it does carry risks, as with all inductions, is that it might not work, so it might not open your cervix at all, and after 12 to 24 hours, if it hasn't naturally fallen out, then the next route would be a caesarean birth more often than not. Or that if it has fallen out, sometimes it can cause, like with all induction processes, sometimes it can increase the chance of fetal distress. But it's less so with the catheter induction than it is with a propess or a prostin gel or prostin tablets or pessaries.